G'day traders, working on the blog for Wednesday the 16th of May. Daily chart, here's the candle we're talking about here. Very similar to what we've been previously talking about, and that was in a seller's market. We're sitting under resistance levels, and potentially the market's got not a lot from holding it from really pushing down. To look what's holding this market back, because we're at 3 month lows, you've got to look back to previous areas around here, whereas on the upside it's got a whole heap of resistance levels to push through. The one big difference about today and why I was confident sellers today was approaching the opening of the market. You see we've got some buyers, so it's the first time we've really had a situation where we're coming into an opening of a market where we're in a seller's market, but the sellers aren't exhausted or overextended or kind of done their dash in the pre-market. We've seen a lot of sellers in the pre-market. Then we're getting this bounce, and basically these mornings where the buyers are dominating, but then at some stage we always know that the sellers are going to come in because we're a seller's market. So today I thought the buyers might come in a bit earlier. Eventually it came that way. We got this bounce, and then we did push down, and from there it's just a seller's market, and we just kept on pushing lower. To have a bit of a closer look, just to take you to the 1 minute chart here, see how we push down, then pop back up here. So what happened here is all the other markets were pushing down, then to swing around and get a charge towards this area here, and then start breaking this little bit of a high at the cash market there, early high. That's a pretty big change in momentum there. When they're looking like they're going on the downside. So this is an area that is very likely to break. And you look at the 5 minute chart here, the predictive average crossed down, crossed up, and it went. And the key about this is the other markets, especially go back and have a look at the Dow Jones. It had clearly broken. So this candle here, before we'd broken the cash market highs, the Dow Jones was already breaking away, and it was kind of, when you get a bit of an insight to the future like that, it's got a very high, if you're onto it and aware of these things, very good breakout area that went 2-3 points quite easily. Back to the 5 minute charts from there, we pushed up, and what happened is we broke this level here. Here we pulled back again, broke this level again. So in a seller's market, the buyers were getting a little bit of power and had a little bit of dominance to start off with. We pulled back here to this area. As far as say pullback areas here and power points, a day where it could work quite well for you, even though it's going against the dailies. It had kind of everything going for it. The other marks were holding up higher, and everything. The buyers looked like they had a little bit of momentum. Just the only thing that was going through my mind was that what I said right at the beginning of the day is that the sellers were fresh. We're in a seller's market, so we could just really get a charge from the sellers at any stage. So what happened is we bounced really well. You can see off the PowerPoint here, bounced really well off the 5 minute pullback, and as it shows up here, the 5 minute pullback, even though it's against the dailies, we got the winner. So a winner today. It went 9 ticks, so it's actually 3 from 6 now, so striking at 50%. We got the winner, and then we got the charge down. Pushing down here, so this market basically got quite some strong momentum, and it was quite evident that the sellers were coming in and kind of lining up the dailies. Now once we broke this level here, this is a really good sign that we're pushing lower, and any sort of retracement area is going to work quite well. So the 5 minute retracement area, this one here, just a bit of a retracement and a push back down, so this area worked quite well on the 5 minute chart. Going over to the 1 minute chart, this is the same one here, and it's actually it lines up to that 10-point trend. Take the first retracement power point, so you can see the areas worked well. Unfortunately, the entry is just not quite right. We just popped out, got stopped out before pushing down. So I've marked that down. We've got a loss there. So since recording, it's actually the first loss. So now we've got 4 from 5 with the power point after 10-point trend, and the second yellow power point after yellow. Sorry, still 0 from 1. We aren't getting a lot of those at the moment. Back to the 5 minute chart, so like I said, we pushed lower. Any sort of pullback is very likely to hold, and then get a continuation of these sellers to the downside. Again, another area which I liked was actually around this area here to break down lower. What happened is, if you look at the 1 minute chart, you can see we've come down, we've tested this area once, twice, third time, and then broken. And basically it kept on pushing and persisting, and at some stage it's going to break. This candle here, the Russell really started to rush to the downside, so I thought anywhere around here was a good selling opportunity. It just popped its head back up, and then we've really pushed down lower and really started to break, and looked like the market was going to go on with it there. I think it would have headed lower if it wasn't for this news announcement at 2 o'clock. We had FOMC minutes, So it popped back down, but the market soon shrugged off that news and decided to keep on heading lower. We're getting basically to the this is the second pullback. Now we're getting a third pullback. So as far as trading areas, I think by the time you're getting down here, looking at sells is not probably the best option. We're getting very extended and likely for to see some sort of maybe a bounce at some stage. So you can see it's actually bouncing up here and looking to break up, and did break up through resistance levels. So as it starts coming again for the third time, this is potentially an area where you look for power points to hold or look for reversals and an area for the market to go back up. In the end, it kind of stayed a bit stable and pushed a bit lower. So I guess not the best day for it, considering that it is a seller's market, and they did have a fair bit of momentum. But it's something to consider when you see the market's extended and you look at the 5-minute chart. You're getting like the third or even fourth pullback, and look at the bounce it's getting here. You can expect some areas like this to really hold, push higher, especially if it's with that sort of direction in the sort of the longer term markets. So something to be very aware of. Just to go through the 1-minute chart quickly here. So like I said, this is push down, breakout here. I think taking it as a power fade wasn't really an option. Like, it's still a bit early here. It could have held and pushed lower, but by the time we were pushing up here, then we started to see the other markets breaking. It became evident that it was going to break from about around here, a couple of ticks before that high there. We pulled back nicely to this power point here, so this area had a fair bit of momentum. An area that looked like it was potentially going to hold. From there, this is another holding area before we got these sellers rushing down, and then we're breaking down through this support level here. So looking for some sort of pullback power point. This area here is certainly the go. We had this very sideways area. This is where we got a rush to the downside potential area to break out. This fade here would have worked. Yeah. So I thought that was definitely. I remember watching that one live, and I wanted an entry a little bit higher, but still the power fade definitely looked like an option on the downside there. Everything was starting to break. This is this news area, and then some sort of bouncing. So this is where we're starting to get. I think maybe this power point here had potential to hold and push back up if we had some buyers on the longer term markets. Anyway, food for thought. That's a wrap up for Wednesday, and I'll speak to you guys on Thursday.